Since the 1st century, the people of Minor Asia and Egypt were acquainted with working on three metals because only these three metals could they find in their natural state, namely copper, gold, and iron. The earliest form of iron man used was of astronomical origin. No wonder some meteors were almost the one and only sources of this metal. Funnily enough, this form of iron could be utilized in its cold condition, so simple hammering was enough to give it any shape required. Yet because this metal rarely existed, it was considered so precious that jewels were made thereof. Thereafter, people discovered and mastered the art of metal control by fire. The first metals they controlled in this way were lead, copper, and tin. By mixing the last two metals and then casting in molds, they got the alum. After that, they succeeded to separate silver from mercury, just as they had succeeded to separate the different parts of iron from one another. In this way, they learned the methods of processing these metals. As for iron making, a vitally important process, it passed through time-consuming stages of development that attached the development of primitive ovens, which took many centuries. Finally, ovens took the form of tightly closed furnaces in which wood charcoal was burnt under the effect of blown air. This method, in fact, secured a higher heat, thus allowing the production of mixture of iron and carbon, scientifically called fonte. From such fontes, and thanks to the coal that was produced later, steel would be extracted. The increase of the production of steel required building such giant furnaces with necessarily inextinguishable fire. The evolution in chemistry led to discovering more metals, such as cobalt, platinum, nickel, and tungsten. The other metals that remained undiscovered were finally discovered by chemists of the 19th century. Some of such metals are potassium, zinc, aluminium, magnesium, titanium, uranium, and chromium, in addition to other metals belonging to this huge group of innumerable uses. Last but not least, our present time has witnessed the generating of plutonium, which atomic physics produced industrially, basing its production on natural uranium. Recently, some of its few effects have been found in its natural state. So many are the industries that have grown and flourished thanks to the various metals. In the past century, a new chapter in the historical record of metals was opened due to the works of the French chemist Georges Cadran, who succeeded to refine metals to the furthest extent, thus granting them new features. As a result, some metals that were in the ancient times considered rare practically and some metals that were in the ancient times considered rare and useless times have become multi-purpose once they are found pure and filtered. For example, it is enough to know that such metals as beryllium, magnesium, and cadmium play vital roles in the works of atomic reactors, while airplanes and spaceships cannot do without titanium and tantalum.